I heard from a couple people over the past couple of days related to the waiting week, and I'm wondering if you just might be able to provide an explanation for them. It's a situation where they've been getting benefits and then they, I guess, exhausted the benefits that they've been paid, and so they're upset that they're not getting the waiting week payment with, and the upsetting part for them might be they're not getting the extra $600. Does that make sense? Because they were, they exhausted everything, so they don't have any money left to maybe get that waiting payment.
Sure. So a couple of things. This does get complicated because there are so many different programs that can be there. We do have some information up on our website to try to help people see, depending on when they got that waiting week credit, whether they would get just their underlying benefit or whether it fell during a time period that the federal government allows us to also pay them the extra $600 or the extra $300. And they can check through the online claim system to see where that waiting week credit was, which will help them identify if they are ultimately eligible for that additional amount. From the beginning, the waiting week doesn't, the waiting week is really a pause before you can start getting your regular unemployment insurance benefits. So waiving the waiting week means that people can start getting paid for their first week of benefits the first week that they're eligible, but it doesn't increase the amount of benefits that they're able to get on a regular unemployment insurance claim. The situation, and one of the things that makes this complicated and that requires a lot of manual work, is many people have exhausted their regular unemployment insurance, so they've already received 26 weeks worth of regular unemployment insurance, and they've now moved on to one of the extension programs, PEUC. Maybe they've gone through that or are now on extended benefits or even PUA. For people where we are allowed to do it, we are moving them kind of backwards through the claims. So they will still end up getting paid for that first week that they were eligible. And if that first week was during a time period covered by the FPUC program, for example, they will get the $600. Those are among the claims that take a lot more manual work for us to do. And there are some people who have exhausted absolutely all of the benefits under all of the programs that they're eligible for. And for them, unfortunately, it does mean that they won't be receiving any additional payment because they've already exhausted all of the money that's available to them under all of the benefit programs.
And then just so for clarification, I think as you said, just so I can go back and explain to them, they've basically then been paid the amount of money that they ultimately would have been paid is just kind of a different timing in a situation where they might have exhausted the benefits. Is that right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Any chance I could ask a follow-up to Keaton's just to clarify? I want to make sure I understood what you said correctly. Sorry. So for the waiting week, so people won't get maybe that week of benefits because they were already paid it, but if they're eligible for the federal benefit, they would still get that money for the waiting week?
So I'm trying to make sure I understand the question, and I'm not sure that I do. The federal benefit, if you're talking about either the extra $600 or extra $300, that only applies if you end up getting paid for a week that was covered by one of those programs. For some people, we are essentially shifting them backwards through the programs. So some people may not end up getting a new underlying benefit payment if they've already received them all. But if it changes the week that they were eligible to get paid for, from being, for instance, if somebody's waiting week was during the time period covered by FPUC, and they later received their last week of benefits in a week that wasn't, then they could end up getting an additional $600 payment, but not an additional underlying week of benefits because they already received all of their original unemployment insurance benefits. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Thank you for clarifying.